Well, here we are again. It's good to see you, and now we're going to talk about chainsaws. Not everybody uses them all the time, but you use them once in a while. Everybody wants to cut some firewood periodically, or maybe up at the cottage, around the home. Maybe you want to rent one to take down that tree you don't like anymore that's rotten. The big thing is when you're using a chainsaw, and this is any chainsaw, keep them out of the dirt. If you're trying to use this for cutting a stump out of the ground or something, then be well aware that you're going to dull that chain real quick, and don't be surprised if it dulls in 10 minutes or half an hour. Depends how you're using it or how you're cutting, but dirt is not a friend to a chain. Also, remember you got the right tension when you got the chain. The guides in the bottom of the chain should be just coming out of your bar when you pick it up in the middle, and if that chain is used for a while, it's going to stretch, and it's going to get loose. It's going to start sagging, and once it starts sagging down and those guides come out of the bar, a good idea for safety so the chain doesn't get shot off of the bar is snug it up. And you'll get a wrench with your rental, but you want to unsnug these two screws here and turn this one here, which is your adjusting screw. You'll turn it in a clockwise direction, pushes the bar out, snugs up the chain again, and tighten up your two bolts. The spike on here on the bottom, a lot of people will try and use a chainsaw. You'll get it and they're cutting way out here. Maybe in some cases you have to, but if you're cutting a log or anything, the whole reason for that is that you spike into it and then you just rock the saw, and that will pull your chainsaw right into your log, into your cut. Make it a heck of a lot easier than being out here and trying to push it through a log, especially if you got some bigger 10 or 12 inch maybe pieces for firewood and you're going to be doing it for quite a while. It's awfully nice to spike that in and just let it pull itself into the saw or into the wood rather than trying to push it down into the cut. Also remember the chain brake. You hear that click? When you push that forward, that locks the chain from turning. So it's a safety feature. This has got to be on the chainsaw when you're using it. Pull that back to unlock it. That allows the chain to turn. The principle behind that is if you're here and you're cutting and possibly you get caught up here with a branch or something on top of the chain, a chain will kick back at you. It'll go like, and the idea of that brake is it's going to stop the chain from turning before it parts your hair. Okay, so that's the whole principle of a chain brake. So make sure if you're using a chainsaw that that's on it. And some old chainsaws that are around may have been taken off, may not have it, but that's creating an unsafe situation if you're using one in that case. A couple of things on a chainsaw, and this happens, and I can't say it happens more than you'd like it to do, but the front knob here is for chain oil, not fuel, chain oil. The back one, there's usually a gas tank or something in a fuel orientated sign on the back one, and that's usually the fuel. And it's mixed fuel, like your Aspen, has oil in the gas. It's got to be 2-cycle oil or 2-cycle gas, because this a 2-cycle engine like this, just like the gas saws, can be turned in any direction, and that's what's lubricating the saw inside, is the oil that's in the fuel. The chain oil in the front, usually in all chainsaws, unless there's a button on it to dispense the oil, is automatic, and that's what's dispensing oil on the chain to lubricate it, so it doesn't heat up and burn your bar. A lot of bars you'll see sometimes that are all blue on them. They've been using the chainsaw without oil, and what happens is the bar will actually open up and sometimes can jam your chain. It'll get stuck on there because the bar slot is opened up where the chain goes, and a lot of that's just from not having it lubricated. Or the sprocket on the end will get burnt, and from not lubricating in your bar. So when you run out of fuel, fill them both up. Fill the chain oil up, fill the mixed fuel up, and then you're ready to go again. Now, the starting on these is very similar. Just put them on, pull the choke out all the way. You get that little sputter. Get the choke in. You keep pulling, you're going to flood it. Simple. When you do it right, it's easy. If you don't do it right, you flood it. And then a whole lot of frustration sets in. But anyway, there's a few things to know about a chainsaw. That's pretty common to most chainsaws. But hopefully this will help you out for those little projects you want to do. And don't forget to subscribe.